when I read this article that Natalie Cole has hepatitis C and she looks like death, I mean, first of all, I sympathize with you, Natalie, and I always admire you as a very vivacious, beautiful, dynamic, and very special lady. And you've lived, in my view, I didn't know of your problems. I thought you were very exemplary and so on. But in this sickness, it's coming to light that, and I think I might have heard it, but I ignored it in the past. You're always so dynamic. You talk about what you do in that nice big Cadillac, driving around the street. Man, you're so sexy and really good. But I mean, how can you come and get afflicted with this poor man disease now? And these hepatitis disease. Yes, they're sexually transmitted, but also they're transmitted through the sharing of personal items, drug needles, and so on. And this is what I'm hearing that is the cause of your problem. I mean, you have millions of dollars and you could buy a whole truckload of syringes to do your thing. In fact, I want to know why you ever started using heroin and all that stuff. I mean, you got the money, yeah, you were married and it didn't work out, but so a lot of other people and they haven't gone there. You want to go back to the childhood, whether, not you used to do drugs and you saw it and all that stuff. But then usually, I understand that even preachers' children, they play around with a little marijuana. They say, oh, it's a little pot, and they call it so nice and everything else. And it's the gateway to higher and harder drugs. When you get conditioned to that, you need that high, you go to something different, cocaine, crack, heroin, and so on. But as I said, this is a poor person's disease, and I mean, were you hanging around some homeless folks? I mean, how did you end up? Well, of course, rich people also have this thing, but you have to have a partner to do your heroin, or you can't do it by yourself, or something like that. My understanding, though, is that the disease, the virus, or the bacteria has been subjugated and controlled, and apparently it's just the side effects of the drugs and stuff, the therapy and so forth. But I wish you a speedy recovery, and looking forward to hear you sing some more emotive and very emotional songs, sexy songs you like to sing and so on. And I hope that the rest of your life, you have some peace and everything else, and you don't put yourself in the way of this. And I mean, I don't know what to say when people start drug addictions. I don't know how they could overcome that. I don't have the idea how to do it, except that, with God and so forth. But you don't start things. You see, history is so important. You have long time history, you have current history. You see somebody inside the street doing that up and down the knees weak, and it's heroin. Why am I going to try it? I mean, is that fun? I mean, in spite of that type of behavior and demonstrations, there's some internal fun that is so wonderful that overlook all this stuff and all these problems and just go ahead. These are things that young people need to look at, and I don't wish anybody a drug addiction problem. I mean, my neighbor, my worst enemy, I don't want you to be a drug addict, because when you can't get your fix and all that, there's so much problems. You want to behave crazy in the street, you want to rob my stuff and all that stuff, get your supply and so forth. But you're a rich girl, and as I said, I don't know how you end up with this poor person disease, but at least sharing the needles is a kind of poor attitude. I mean, every time you use it, get you a new one. But then again, after the first shot, you lose your kind of rationale, your kind of cognitive ability, and anything goes and so forth. But I regret, and I sorry that this happened to you, Natalie. All the best.